Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe Panther III.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm Joe Panther, and today we are in the middle of June, and it's getting nice and warm out. And first and foremost, I would like to welcome my guest today because he got sent by a very awesome opening of the season guest, Madison Morgan. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome guest to my guest, sir.
Hold on, Joe. Hold on. We can't begin like this. Listen, you're sitting here with the current Nordic Elite Wrestling Champion. I'm the apex of Scandinavia. I'm the best thing going in all of Scandinavia. Why do you want to talk about Madison Morgan when you got me? Huh? Don't waste my time. Come on, man.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that, man. No, I just wanted to thank her for this. I obviously sent the check over for you, right? Did you get it in the mail in time? Like,
I got it.
Okay.
I missed I think a zero was missing or something, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I gotta talk to my representatives. They sometimes forget numbers.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So, where did you get your start? When did you get your start in the professional wrestling business?
Well, I actually, let's say I avoided the pro wrestling business for quite a bit actually, because when I started out, wrestling wasn't as big. It was still very much a niche thing. So the only thing that I knew about was in a place called Runners, DPW was called, Dance Pro Wrestling. And that's 4 hours, 5 hours maybe from where I live. So I didn't think it would be, worth my time to go there, because why would I? But then at some point I started feeling if I don't go and try this, once I lie in my deathbed, I'm going to be there's one thing I regret is not trying this. So I had some days off and I went and I drove those 4 hours and I dipped my toes in that water. And then at that point they tell me, oh, something in Copenhagen just started up. And that was, I think that's where Madison Morgan started out as well, in Copenhagen Championship Wrestling, which is not a thing anymore, unfortunately, but that's where I really got involved in the business. That's how I got my start.
Awesome. So what was it like the first time you stepped into your training facility? Were you nervous? Were you excited? What was it like?
Was I nervous? Well, in my wrestling journey, I would say the most nervous I've ever been, including going through the curtain. The most nervous I ever was my first training in Runners, and then my second training. Those are the 2 moments where I've been the most nervous, because you have no clue about who or what you're going to get when you get in there. And wrestling is so diverse. And because it's such a niche thing and it draws so many different people, you can't imagine who you're going to meet in there. But once you get to know the people and once you're in, it gets more comfortable. But yeah, I was nervous. But I tried to keep coming there, even though it was not let's say the most well-equipped facility that we had. But I guess that's just the thing in the indies.
Yeah, it's the indies. It's I when I try to explain to non-wrestling fans that I work in my job, and they're like, "Oh, do you prefer the big boys up there with the AEWs or WWEs?" And I kind of tell them, because I'm from PA and there's small stores, shops around
Right.
here. So I kind of explained it that I support the indies, and they're indies, Indiana Jones. No, indies is my way of saying the mom and pop shops, the people that
Yes.
start out in the gyms and start out in the like the fairgrounds doing the shows, and sometimes they never make it to that big spotlight. It
No.
they never get called. And I'm the guy that swoops in when they're going, I'm never gonna get chosen by these people. No one wants to talk to me. And I pop in going, hey, I got a camera, I got a microphone, I got a platform. Come with me. You'll get seen. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. And fortunately, we have people like you here as well. And you guys make the difference sometimes because you can have a really bad match or a really bad show, but there will always, thankfully, there will be people like you who come in and will be supportive and will give a platform, will give advice, and like just make it worth it in the end, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
that-
it's crazy because I'm in America and you're across the globe.
oh yeah.
Like, have you had thoughts of like coming to the States and actually training like at like an OVW or like on Long Island at Cardona School, something like that yet?
Yeah, of course I have. I have a couple of trips. I'm planning a couple of trips right now. It's just the thing is it has to work with life.
Mm.
But like the US is definitely on the list, and I definitely have a couple of schools in sight and a couple of people I want to work with and train with and learn from. Of course, there's promotions as well and all that. But like I'm a little old school at heart, so I look to sort of reputable schools with that old school and new school mentality, because I think that's a great mix, and it breeds success, at least of what I can see.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah,
guys,
there's definitely a lot of good places where I live. There's in Long Island, there's Matt Cardona School.
yep, who's actually coming to Dance Pro Wrestling in November? I saw.
Mm.
Yeah,
So you're gonna have to approach him and be like, "Hey, how you doing?"
absolutely. Got a network. Hell yeah.
So, is there any indie wrestlers that you've been seeing on the scene, either from the States or from your neck of the woods, that you've never like got a chance to like approach them and like working with them yet?
Yes, of course, there is a whole bunch of people that I want to work with. I haven't been wrestling for that long, I would say. Like, it's only been like a couple of years.
Mm.
Since I would say September 21 is when I really started to like train on a regular, because like Danish wrestling went through some changes, let's say, and it didn't really have a stable training facility since September 21 or so. So that's when I really started to like work and got to meet people and got to travel a little bit. I just went to WXW in Germany. They just had their 16 carat. We went, we saw the show, we helped out, we trained for them for about a week, and like their whole roster, man, is just stacked with talent, and they have so much knowledge, and they're willing to give. And I have a couple of contracts also in the UK, and those guys are just as willing to like teach and willing to give you a platform to like grow and keep showcasing yourself, keep learning. So to sit here and name people, like we could be here like
2 days. We have to do a 2-parter.
Yeah, it will be a 10-parter, man. Like,
oh geez. There's
the
one
list
wrestler that
is-
I don't know if you encountered when you were at WXW, La Katrina.
yeah, I know the name, but I'm not that familiar, like, because there's so many people all around. So, and thankfully, I'm getting busier and busier, so I get to meet new people all the time. So, but yeah.
Yeah. So, like the week of a show, what is it more like for you? Is it more training, or is it getting used to your like opponent and like hearing what you have to do for the show? What is it like for you? What is like a normal week of a show like?
A normal week of a show is usually very it's a routine, basically, because I try to like ground my approach in a routine that I can keep up, so I don't have to like, in a sense, get ready, because I want to stay as ready as possible. So and when you work with different opponents, sometimes you train with them, sometimes you haven't, like, and if they're like if they live in another country or whatever, or far away at least, you don't really have the opportunity to like feel them out and feel like how they move and how they think. So I try just to stay relaxed, stay ready, and then once we get closer to the day, we'll start to figure some stuff out and plan out. And the thing about wrestling is everything can change like that, and that happens all the time. Plans get messed up, flights get canceled. So you can't really. I don't think unless you are like a promotion, if you're just an independent wrestler, you can't really think too far ahead because something will always come up, and then you're gonna have to rethink it all again.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about professional wrestling. Like, you think that your plans for like a show or that week are gonna go all like go, you know what I mean? Like, you think they're gonna go like 100% your
Mhm.
way. And then that morning you get told by the promoter, oh, your opponent, he's going to be 2 hours late and come in right before the show. So you
Yes.
can't speak to them, and you don't know how to, I know you guys have that prep before the show that you talk and stuff like that, and you go over moves. Like, what do you do if it's like something like that, like a last minute, like late show up?
Well, of course, we don't want to peel back the curtain too much
No,
here.
no, 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 no.
What we would usually do, like, actually, I have a great example because I'm gonna be that guy that's gonna show up late later this month, actually, because life happens. So the show will have already started when I show up. So what you have to do, and that's why you kind of have to stay ready. You have to like keep sharp here in your mind and know like what is your basics. What can we all do? Like how do we stay relaxed? How because then when you can relax when you're in there and you can listen to the audience, you can kind of adapt a little bit and you can figure out where to go depending on what the audience will give you. And of course, there's always some stuff that you want to plan out, but we all have one of these, so we can always communicate a little bit and have somewhat of an idea of what we want in there.
Yeah, that's totally true. So, like, for you, I feel like you're traveling like a long distance, like you did when you went to WXW.
Yeah.
Do you have to like eat a big breakfast, or do you have to like eat a big breakfast and pack a lunch and then eat whatever you're gonna eat the like the morning of like that lunch like dinner time, or you have to wait till the end of the show to do that whole meal thing?
You're talking about like from whether I get nervous or not, or
Yeah, like your nerves. Like, do you eat that day, or do you like you hold off and try to eat like
no, no,
after the match?
I eat because if I don't eat, man, my energy just dips like this and it's gone, and then I can't really think straight. So I need to eat. I'm one of those guys. I need to eat. I don't eat a lot or anything major before a match or a show necessarily if I'm involved because then I just feel like I get heavy and stuff like that. So I just want to like be energized, have some fuel, but not too much, and then when the match is over, I'll relax. I'll eat my stuff and I'll feel good.
So what's your favorite food to eat? It doesn't have to be on show day, just in general. Like, what's your favorite food?
My favorite food. No, I always like lasagna, stuff like that. But that's from a cheat meal perspective. Like I think lasagna is really good. But in terms of like what sits well with me, what I can always count on, I like eggs, man. Eggs,
Mm.
I think is the easiest thing. You can take it everywhere you want. You can. It's easy to cook. Um, they stay fresh for a relatively long time, and this just sit well with me. And they're packed full of protein and energy and the good fats. So
And you could walk and eat it. Just stick it in a plastic bowl and just and scarf it.
yeah, man, we actually drove to Germany, and I knew I needed food because we were driving at night and nothing is open at night. So like, what do you pack? Pack some greens, some carbs, and then I just had like a bag full of eggs, cooked eggs, man, and then I could just pop one when I felt like it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's
So
not
is it
it's not
like
like it's not like the most elegant thing to like sit and eat, but it works. And sometimes you could just gotta do what you gotta do.
so you had like hard boiled eggs, or you just had like scrambled eggs?
No, no,
Like
hot,
you eat?
hot boiled eggs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you put like pepper on them? Do you like put pepper on them? Do you put like hot sauce
But
on them?
normally, but I didn't do it at that point.
I'm a hot
At
sauce
that
fan.
point, it's just fuel. You just need food.
Just like what were like the reactions of the people that you were in the car with if you're traveling with people? Do they cover their nose? Do they like open the windows and stuff like
No,
that?
no. They get it, and they've seen a lot worse. So, but the initial reaction is just just like what you had, like, oh, geez, is that just eggs? Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Just gotta do what you gotta do. Like, stay healthy.
Yeah, you gotta. You're a trained athlete. You need to keep everything so all tight. Right, get it right, get it tight.
Yes,
Yeah, like that song, that hip hop song for the night.
that's it.
So, like, with when you go to your shows, do you have any like fun or like crazy stories from like going to the shows that day or that night or anything during matches or anything?
Yeah, I have a couple of stories. I would say if I could just give you, like, let's say one. Last year, actually, we had with Nordic Elite, they had like one of their bigger shows going on, and it was doing a tag team tournament. And I was in a tag team with a guy called Robert Starr, the Polish stallion. Actually, you could have him on; he's really good. But we went in the match and we did a thing. I'm on the outside. He's in there, my partner. And all of a sudden they build towards the comeback, and they try to raise the stakes, try to make it exciting, get people on their feet. The last big thing happened, and then because it was like an old theater, the moment the impact happened, it released something from the ceiling to where a doll resembling a dead man just came hanging down from the ceiling.
Oh my god!
Yes, I think it's on my Instagram somewhere, but I can send you the I can send you the video at some point. But
Oh no!
that was the most random and weirdest thing I've ever seen, and yeah, that I think that's the weirdest thing I've seen so far.
Wow. I thought I've heard everything from people getting people stapling other people's parts to the ring to like someone getting sick and throwing up on another wrestler during a match
Oh,
to now things falling from ceilings out of because in America we really don't do shows in theaters.
no,
Like I've told that to promoters. I said, you guys don't take advantage of the theaters that are in your town. If there's a space for a ring on the stage, do it. And they're like, how would we do? Like, and they start like asking me, breaking me down like about that. And they go, but how would my wrestlers get to the ring? I'm like, there's
it's
an aisle in the theater
yeah,
that I don't know if you've ever been in a theater. Like I feel like I'm being like a heel on them. Like you're not sophisticated enough to know about a theater. Here we go. There's an aisle in the theater, and the wrestler can walk down the aisle like they're walking down the route to the ring, and then go in the little side door, come up the stairs, and
yeah.
there's their picture on the wall, and they can wrestle on the stage.
Yeah, exactly. It's a stage for a reason. Even the stage, I've been in a couple of theaters actually, and we occasionally will use the stage as the ramp. Basically, we'll build maybe a little ramp to like where we don't have a big drop, and we'll place the ring in the middle of the theater. So we have a standing. We'll remove the chairs, have a standing audience, ring in the middle, and then the stage will be our stage basically to do our entrance.
Mm.
And that works too, because then you have like a screen in the back, have your video going on, and like it adds to the vibe, and it's more than just it can be more exciting than a warehouse, in my opinion, or a bingo hall.
Yeah.
But you got to work with what you got.
Yeah. I've look, La Katrina sent us a video back in the day that she came down the aisle of the theater with the skull and she was getting around. She went to the side door and then she came up. I guess when up, she said she went up the staircase onto the stage. And then I saw the video and it's her picture on the wall of the theater, like holding the skull into her face. And I was like, that's when I was like, I gotta start talking to these promotions because this theater, like some places, the seats are like bolted into the theater
Yes.
and you can't really take them up. So you just either that or they could always use the pit where they have the orchestra, because normally those are seats are just like folding chairs, and they put the ring there and have the set be the stage. And
That
there's
makes
plenty of
sense.
backstage area.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you got to work with what you got, and like
yeah, yeah. So do you have any upcoming shows or like anything like that to promote?
I am going to. It's far from America, but I'm going to Sweden next weekend actually.
Mm,
In Göteborg, it's called, with Strength Wrestling. I'm returning there to tag with an old friend of mine. To do what exactly, I don't know yet, but we'll figure it out. And then the week after that, with Body Slam Pro Wrestling, we have also in the weekend we have a small, like we could call it a house show in the middle of Copenhagen. It's like a street food market. It's very very good. And if the weather is nice, hopefully we will have something very fun planned.
awesome.
And also, I got a little business with WXW because they have some small shows that I want to attend. And yeah, the future looks bright.
Yes. Before we go, is there any merch that you would like to, if my fans would like to, my American fans would like to buy any merch of yours, where can they find it?
They will just have to contact me on any social platform. Emilian Lewis DK. That's my name everywhere: Instagram, X, Facebook. They would like some merch. I don't have a lot to offer yet, but that's definitely where to go if you want some, or if you want to get in contact in general.
Awesome. Before we go, if there was any kids that wanted, like teens that wanted to get into the business and they just needed some kind of advice, what can you tell them?
If you want to get in the business, I would just suggest that you just take contact and then go from there, basically, because the hardest thing is actually not to get in. Is the hardest thing is to stay in. So and also if you could like if you know how your body moves, if you've done anything athletic, it doesn't have to be anything crazy or at a particular high level, but anything athletic will help you a lot because then you'll understand how your body reacts and how your body moves and how it's supposed to feel and how it's not supposed to feel. So that'll give you a big edge in terms of like development. And then, yeah, take contact and be tough and have fun. That's basically it. Do what you want to do.
Awesome. I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It really means a lot to have another awesome wrestler from across the globe that I haven't had on before. Please tell your wrestling friends. Keep spreading the word. Keep telling them how much fun you guys had. I'm Joe Panther the Third,
I'm Emilian Lewis, the Apex Scandinavia.
and we will catch you in the next one.